Hi guys, welcome to Nerd Bites, and this is going to be my spoiler review for episode 1 of The Last Kingdom. So finally we've got a series based on the Bernard Cornwell books, The Last Kingdom. It's a series of books, I think it's about 5, maybe 6 books in total, and the BBC picked it up and they're finally doing a season, and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. So I'm going to be some spoiler talks, so there will be spoilers, of episode 1 of The Last Kingdom. Before we begin, obviously, I'm not going to remember all these names because some of them are quite difficult to remember, so I'm just going to point them out as that dude or that woman at some point, but I remember a couple. The great thing about it is I wasn't quite sure where it was going with the theme of it as it was going, because I know that obviously Alfred is the main character, but I didn't know whether they were going to focus on him necessarily. They didn't look like they were at the start, and this kid came in and I was like, right, I think that might be him, and it definitely was. And then later on you see a massive fight happen. His father goes to war, he wants to go with him, so he's charged to try and go to war with him, even though he's far too young. The Vikings do an awesome thing against them. They have a shield wall, and then as soon as they're attacking, they pop them and make another shield wall, and they literally just box him in and just hack him to pieces. His dad dies, gets the throat completely stabbed, which was freaking awesome. It's brutal as well, which I love. They kept it really aesthetically good, with all the blood and the gore and just the simplicity of it. It made it really, really cool. Then we see the kid trying to attack Ragnar, and Ragnar just knocks him out, and that's the end of that. He kind of takes the kid under his wing. He takes him as a slave to begin with, but then he starts to take a liking to him, really kind of building a relationship with him. And then you find out that his uncle wants him dead, because if he's dead, then his uncle can completely take over. So he tries to bargain to get him bought back off Ragnar, and it doesn't go to plan at all. He tries to get the money off him, and they refuse to do it, and then Ragnar goes, you know what, I'm buying him, and I bought him. And he buys him, and he takes him, and that's the end of that. And he says, well, oh, it's because we like you, and then he just knocks him into the water. Great thing about it, when he knocked him into the water, the transition he went from kid to adult. He went into the water as a kid, and as he kicked back to the surface, he came up, and he was a full-grown adult, just finished bathing himself, and it was just really cool, awesome transition. There's just some really cool camera shots with these seasons so far as well. One of the things, if I remember as well, because I've only read the first book, the bit where the village burns completely, as far as I remember, is about halfway through the book, and this happens about 3/4 of the way through the first episode, so they're really kind of, it's not going to be a big series, I don't think. So this whole, the village gets burnt from one of their enemies, I can't remember who they are, and in the process the old Ragnar dies, and the slightly younger Ragnar also dies as well. He goes out swinging with swords and axes and everything while being set alight, kills a few, and then he just dies. And Alfred and Breda, his little kind of love interest that he's taken up, they're off busy doing stuff, and as they're coming back, that's when they see it, so they survive. But it's just really cool seeing everything about it. Ragnar's final act was just a cool and epic one, because he's such a cool character as well, and I really enjoyed it. You've got his uncle's kind of helper kind of lingering around, and he finds him and, well, threatens him basically and kills him. And then the great shot they have right at the end is him taking his head up to his uncle, just like someone did with his own brother to his father at the very start of the first episode. At the end of the first episode, he does the exact same thing to his uncle with this dude's head. And it's just a really nice way of rounding it up, going, right, we've got the little prequel out of the way, we've got the origin of this character out of the way, let's get on with the story. It's just a really cool way to do it. Make sure you keep a lookout for episode 2 of The Last Kingdom, coming sometime tomorrow, and then obviously episode 3 will be coming sometime at the end of the week. So that's what I thought of episode 1 of season 1 of The Last Kingdom. What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. You can send me an email. You can also find me in the various social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and moviepilot.com. Just type in Nerd Bites anywhere, and I'm sure you'll find me. And of course, keep it nerdy.